Welcome to the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me, as always, is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
Flicking that like a light switch, man. Boom. All of a sudden, Ian is on. That's the true mark of an entertainer right there.
Just don't flick it too fast, because then you actually have to have, like, the lights going and the music, and you need to...
No more light switch raves the cheat.
But our system is not down. We have lots of questions from our patrons over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members.
Yes, indeed. We do have many, many questions. Nova Poly Duo is going to start us off with a question. Regarding Nicole, I remember in an earlier BumbleKast, you said that regarding characters getting transitioned from Archie to IDW, they can only have aspects that weren't introduced by Archie, meaning mostly only SATAM. Say, in an ideal situation where the Freedom Fighters are allowed in IDW, how would Nicole be translated, since a lot of her aspects, like the Lynx design, were Archieisms? What form would she potentially take to become more than just a handheld, if that isn't an Archie lockdown? Would her relationship of being more than friends with Sally be technically doable, since while there was a lot of writing on the wall in the story, technically it wasn't stated directly in comics like Bunny and Antoine, but rather a BumbleKast and a Twitter post for confirmation?
Nicole would be lucky to make the cut. She has no game counterpart. She existed in SATAM. And while she is, definitely an important character to all of us, she may be a hard time convincing to get in. Sally is a much easier fight, I would hope, just because she had such a presence in the franchise. SEGA of America and SEGA of Australia, pretty much outside of Japan, she had a pretty decent presence with the merchandise and marketing and yada, yada, yada. So I don't think of all the characters, I think she would be the easiest to get in. Bunny and Rotor, they're a bit harder, but at least they have that one little crumb of an appearance in Sonic Spinball. Antoine, he wasn't in Spinball, but at least he was part of the main cast. He's arguably the most reoccurring character in SATAM beyond Sonic, for obvious reasons. You might make a bid for him, and the four of them are the Freedom Fighters. To me, it makes sense to sell them as that unit, get them all in the door. The problem is when you get to the ancillary characters. Nicole, who had tremendous growth in the Archie series, and we all love Nicole. I'm not trying to undercut her here, but she was kind of a deus ex machina within SATAM. She only appeared for plot reasons most of the time. She was an asset to Sally, but a lot of her tool set could be accomplished by a non-character role. Kind of same thing goes for Uncle Chuck, for Dulcie, and the extended cast. They don't have a big game presence, and getting just the core four looked at has been a monumental effort thus far. Adding more to that, it might be dicey. So there is a very real possibility that Nicole just doesn't make the cut, as heartbreaking as that is to say out loud. If she were to make the cut, I am 99% sure it would be her SATAM incarnation, and that would be where we started. Everything else is off the table.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it makes sense. It's not the answer I wanted, but it makes sense. And, at least get the four Freedom Fighters in the door, and then we'll go from there. So, I don't like it, but I get it.
There's some other reasons, too, that make me worried for Nicole specifically, but I can't get into those. So,
right.
I would very, very, very happy to be proven wrong. Mm-hmm. But we'll see. We'll see. That decision has not been made yet.
Here's a question from Noni. To both of you lovely bumblers, a question. Who is best pony and why is it rarity?
That's a funny way to say Fluttershy.
Yeah, I know nothing. Like, what are you talking? What are these words? These are words. I recognize them as words, but I don't know what they mean.
What is your opinion? Comment below and tell us which one is your favorite.
Sure. I know nothing about ponies.
They specified pony, so I can't really say Spike. He's a dragon. he's the best, period. But, that's neither here nor there.
I don't know anything about ponies. Except I do, just like real ponies, not like cartoon ponies. Like I know a few things about taking care of horses, but I don't know anything about like cartoon horses. Sorry. Here's one from Omega Man 21. I know that neither of you have watched or read JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I've noticed an interesting parallel between SA2 story and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure's third story, and that I haven't seen discussed anywhere before. In Stardust Crusaders, JGBA Part 3, Dio, Shadow's parallel, has the ability to briefly stop time and move a limited range, Chaos Control. And in the end, Jotaro, Sonic's parallel, realizes that he has the same ability and uses it to surpass Dio. I think that Stardust Crusaders may have had an influence on SA2 in a few ways, but I think this is the loudest example. Ultimately, I was wondering what you and others thought of this comparison despite having little context. From what I know of Dio is very little, but he doesn't really strike me as being a parallel to Shadow. Like, personality.
You're approaching me? It's the only way I can kick your ass. One-to-one parallels, no.
Yeah.
But Sonic is no stranger to aping popular media.
Especially manga.
Yeah, so I would not be surprised if there was some inspiration there. And I think that's all that Omega Man 21 is saying, is that,
right,
it was an influence and they're not actually directly aping it.
Right.
So the way that you phrase it, it's convincing enough to me.
Sure. I'm just kind of thinking like Dio as Shadow's parallel. I can't, knowing what I know about Dio, I can't really see that like directly.
It's me,
but I understand.
Shadow. So Worldo.
But it was me, Dio. Yeah, no. I don't know, man. I don't know. Here's a question from Quaggle Gaggle, often haggles. This is Frontiers adjacent, but I'm curious, when Frontiers releases, have you decided what platform you plan on getting it for? Are you worried about performance issues, or do you yearn to have Sonic on the go while you go? Ian, I know your hands are tied, but I'm dying to hear Kyle talk about the trailers thus far.
I mean, I could talk about what system I would play it on. I don't think that's a problem. That shouldn't be covered under the NDA.
What system are you going to play Sonic Frontiers on, Ian? Or are you tired of looking at Sonic Frontiers and want nothing to do with it and have no plan on playing it at all? Like, I don't even want to look at this thing anymore. Blah.
I would play it on the PS4 because that's what I have.
Yeah.
If I had a PS5, I would like that too. But unless someone decides to gift me one between now and November, we're kind of stuck with my PS4 that occasionally decides that the disk drive is on fire and screams.
Okay. Like the Blu-ray drive or the hard drive?
I don't know. It's just, it won't accept a disc for more than 5 minutes at a time. And every now and again, it starts to grind and goes, deep, 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 deep. It's probably just filthy on the inside after all these years, but I don't trust myself to open up a advanced electronics device and clean it. So we just let it scream until it finally settles down. Keep playing our digital games because you can't put a disc in there anymore.
That sounds to me like a fan or hard drive, or both. So what's wrong with the Switch version, Ian?
Oh, nothing in particular. Just I feel like, let's be honest, the Switch doesn't have the oomph that the other systems do. And if you're going to have a super pretty high-res game, go with a system that can do the super high-res pretty, Yeah.
Yeah. If the screeching is as you say, I am thinking it's a fan issue. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to play it on PC because what else am I going to play it on? Like, yeah, what other systems is it coming out for? Because it's coming out
Everything.
on PC, so it doesn't matter. It can come out on whatever it wants as long as it's coming out on PC. So, yeah. I'm playing the PC version. So there. That's my plan anyway. So, let's see. My thoughts on the trailers. You're dying to hear me talk about them. Well, I have some bad news. I don't really have a whole heck of a lot to say. It looks all right. I'm interested in the combat. The combat is a lot more in depth, and I'm interested in giving that a shot. Of course, the very early initial reveals were a bit rocky, but it seems like they've kind of started to nail things down a bit more, so it's looking like it will be all right. So we'll see how it goes, but I am looking forward to trying it out, and other than that, I don't have a heck of a lot to add. It's looks all right so far. I mean, but I've been burned on Sonic games before, so, we'll see. Here's a question from Cork196. In Sonic Battle, it's stated that Gerald gave Shadow a soul identical to Maria's. Is this still true?
I would interpret that as Shadow has a soul that is the same as another living being, that it's not, lesser or different in any way. He and Maria are both truly living beings. I don't think they mean that he has Maria's actual soul, because then he would just be Maria again. And we've seen that Maria does not act like Shadow. If Maria acted like Shadow, she wouldn't have been shot. She would have taken that gun and, liberated the Ark all by herself.
I wish we got Sonic what-if stories. That would be pretty hilarious. That would be a good one. Here's one from Rolling Frenzy. Ian, you said it was a rule of thumb to treat the different forms of Sonic media, comics, games, etc. as parallel universes until it is stated otherwise in one of your BumbleKasts. So, can they still be treated as separate parallel universes even if they're not canon to each other? Like, what? If they're not canon to each other, then I think that would be the only way to treat them, right?
Yeah, it's your headcanon. Do what you want.
Yes.
I am not going to gatekeep your perception of Sonic media.
No, that's fine. Here's one from Shemi. Did you guys ever see the Columbo reference Vector does in Sonic X episode 39? In the English version, it's not as noticeable, but in the Japanese dub, he straight up starts talking about something his wife once said before SBO cuts him off. Do you think Vector is or would be a big Columbo fan?
So I gotta say that, Clutch, you got an airtight alibi. You know where you were, you knew when you were. Everything just syncs up. I'm sorry for wasting your time. But one more thing.
Yeah. Always one more thing.
He would absolutely adore Columbo.
I was going to say Columbo's like his role model. That's what I'd imagine. It seems like he would be like right up Vector's alley, man. Glorious. Love him. And now I'm receiving a follow-up that says, does that make Vanilla Murder, She Wrote?
Angela lands a bunny.
Angela. I love it. I hate it, but I love it. Amazing. It's amazing. Incredible. I don't know. I think the BumbleKast is over after that one. I think we have to end it. We can't. That's the highest note we're going to end on.
You heard it here, folks. It's all downhill for this episode.
Yeah, well, depending on who you ask, it went downhill. It started going downhill from episode 1 and hasn't gone back up since.
Well, we have at least 4,000 subscribers to argue otherwise, so yeah.
7 years to get 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're very slow. It's okay. We still love you.
We will have that silver button before the heat death of the universe. You'll see.
We'll be walking around with canes in their 60s, and maybe eventually we'll get over that 100,000 subscriber mark. We'll see. Here's a question from Scourge Time. Hi guys, it's Scourge X time. Things go wrong with the Anarchy Barrels. Scourge, the Suppression Squad, Rosie, and Onux all end up on Earth. How would this show go? Where will everyone end up? What will Chris think of this green hedgehog? And how would they try to get back home? How to get back home?
Okay, so that opening episode where Sam Speed is trying to chase down Sonic on the highway. Ends very badly for Sam, as in Scourge reduces him to a fiery wreck. And Chris's first exposure to Scourge is fishing him out of the pool, to which Scourge then throws him into the pool.
All right.
The Suppression Squad gets a lay of the land. They understand, okay, this is a world entirely populated by overlanders, which I guess would be under-dirters in their world. I don't know. But they're...
Under-skyers.
Yeah, there you go. So they know what to do with these people. They're going to conquer this world. They're going to be running within the inside of a month. Rosie's chasing Scourge all over the place in a murderous spree because that's what she do. And Onux just, he washes his hands of these people. He's going to find a way back. Just, no, I'm not dealing with any of you guys. He occasionally cut to his C-plot in an episode of him trying to figure out a way to go back home, maybe conspiring with Chris and Chuck to get back to his planet. Oh, yeah, sure. He'll bring the others with him and save their planet. Sure. Just open the portal, please.
Mm-hmm. Just get me the hell off of this rock. Get me out of here. That show would last one season, maybe. And we got one last question here from Scurvy Pirate Dog before we take a break. Shadow, the Sonic character who's colored red and black and wielding guns. How would it go if he was forced to go on an adventure with another red and black character who wields guns? Deadpool! How many times would he annoy Shadow, and how many times would Shadow try to kill him? This is a family show. Yep, I know. Sorry to our younger audience.
This would basically be a perpetual running gag where Wade is trying to keep up with Shadow just to ask him the most awkward internet questions. So I searched your name with the safe filter off, and you get around, don't you? And once Shadow realizes that he can kill Wade but not actually kill him,
oh, he'll do it multiple times
just to shut him up.
Yeah.
So, Shadow, I gotta ask, top or bottom with Sonic? Blam! And Shadow moves on to whatever his next mission is.
Then Deadpool's right back. Yep.
If you don't get that joke, don't ask your parents.
Yeah, and if your parents are listening to this with you, hi parents, sorry.
Maybe we should cut that sequence.
No, we can't cut this.
I'll just cut that one line.
I don't know about that. I'm not going to cut anything.
Maybe
All
put
right.
in the after credits.
Maybe I'll cut it. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I only have so much time, dude. I only have so much time for editing before I got to leave.
Look, Ryan Reynolds did an entire PSA telling parents not to take their kids to the Deadpool movies. The least we can do is take an entirely accurate but entirely unfamily-friendly joke and put it at the end of the show.
Okay. Don't listen to the end of the show, kids. At least don't tell your parents you do. Anyway, let's get out of here and take a break so we can come back to more BumbleKast. Here we are, back with more. We're here with a question from Smiley42116. So let's say that the Sonic the Hedgehog movie had a change of the main character from Sonic to Surge. And of course the title changes to Surge the Tenrec. How much different and chaotic would that be? And how would Surge react to humans trying to catch and dissect her?
I don't know if you can really do a one-to-one swap with that, because Surge's entire character hinges on being created in Sonic's image. Movie Sonic doesn't have that. He was dropped on Earth as a baby and then kind of developed by himself with aspirations to be a hero and then grows from there. You can't really do that arc with Surge, because if she's just dropped in as a kid, she's going to develop independently. There's no star line to manipulate or create her in the image that she is now. So if you want to just ignore the intro to the movie and say, some portal opens up and zaps her into Green Hills, Montana, Nebraska, Manitoba. Where was it? North Dakota?
I think it's Nebraska.
Nebraska?
Yeah, I think so.
Midwest, Green Hills, Midwest. She just pops out
No, is it
there.
Montana? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking
Whatever.
maybe I'm thinking of Blue Valley from Stargirl. But I don't know.
Point is, I don't think it's really you can't just do a copy replace like with so many of these other kind of what if scenarios we get asked. They're just fundamentally different. And if you want to just say, okay, ignore that, stop overthinking it, Flynn, just answer the bloody question. Okay, so Surge is there in her present incarnation, just swapped out with Sonic in this small town. She's going to wreck stuff.
I mean, yeah. Would Surge kill? Like murder?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
I mean, Tom's only going to pull her over once.
Oh, no. Well, it gives a whole new meaning to to Donut Lord, huh? He's going to have a big hole right through him. All right. Well, good. I'm glad Surge can have a little murder. That's a treat. I might have been thinking Nebraska because that's like the original Sonic Bible.
Yeah, there you go.
Nebraska. Yeah, that's another thing. So it's kind of weird how much the movie takes from that old Bible. Weirdly, it's very strange. It feels like it does anyway. I don't know how much it actually does, but it's so weird. Just all around, it's just weird. Anyway, here's a question from Sonic Padge. When Dr. Ivo, Eggman Robotnik, sends his robots into various islands and human cities, do those zones officially, geopolitically become the Eggman Empire's occupied territory for Sonic to liberate? So Sonic is a freedom fighter? Or is Eggman considered to be more of a nuisance?
Why not both? I mean, Eggman probably wanders into any old Starbucks and plants a flag saying it's his now. And everyone just kind of nods. Okay, we're part of the Eggman Empire. He gets his latte. He leaves. They take the flag. They throw it out back with all the others.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're liberated.
Mm-hmm.
He's the type of guy who will, conquer a region and declare part of his empire, and that's it. That's as far as it goes for him. He won. Therefore, he gets the prize. And thus, when Sonic kicks him out, ergo, he's lost that territory. So he's not going to argue. Yeah, he lost. That's not part of the empire anymore. He's going to have to conquer it again.
That's the thing about Eggman, though, is like once he conquers something, he doesn't know what to do with it after that. It's like it's the he wins and then he has nothing to do. He's like, oh, so you mean I actually have to govern it now? Crap.
Autobots deploy all the new stationery.
Can't do that. He can't handle it. He just wants it, but then he has it, and then he's got to deal with it, and he's like, I don't want it anymore. Here's a question from Tentavision. Given their similarities, animal-based characters, victims of mad science experiments, metal endoskeletons, gruff personalities, I wonder how Surge the Tenrec and Logan the Wolverine, wink wink, would interact. Who would win in a fight? Or would they be unlikely friends?
Kind of depends on your incarnation of Logan.
Yeah.
But if we're going with a more common present one where he's super mellowed out, comparatively speaking, and would want to help someone who's been through similar trauma, he would make the effort, assuming that he knows what Surge's deal is beforehand, he would make the effort to try to talk the fight down initially. And then Surge would barbecue him.
This is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I'm thinking of the Logan from Evolution in this case. Yeah.
And he would try one more time to get through to her that he's not going to die. You can't beat him. And if she's causing problems, he's going to solve those problems very quickly. And then she barbecues him. And then they fight.
I was going to say, once she finds out he can't die, she'll just kill him over and over again. Just like Shadow with Deadpool.
The difference being Surge is going to get cocky and try to go in for a melee attack at some point just to style on him. And then them claws are going to make it a short work of her because there's only so much she can heal from.
Yeah. But yeah, a little fight though.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a question from That Unknown Skull. Well, you've said you didn't want to go too dark with it. Did you consider an incurable scenario where the best solution was wiping the Zombots out with the emeralds, or something like Whisper encountering and being forced to mercy kill a Zombotified Tangle?
No,
Boy,
no.
I'm not sure Sega would even let you go that dark.
I mean, yeah, I'm a monster, but we're talking like Count Chocula.
Wow, yeah,
You've gone full Nosferatu on there.
That's dark. That's too dark.
Yeah. that's pitch black. That's Vanta black, man. Woo. No. Zombot arc was always built with a happy ending in mind. We can go really dark, sure, but we know we're going to walk it back completely by the end. Sonic is going to be put through the worst trauma possibly ever, but he's going to have the ultimate victory. He's going to come out of the darkness into the light in a metaphorical way, not like at the end of the tunnel sort of way. It's happy, good, nice thing. Jeez, whispering tangle.
God,
No. Just having just that one scene. You know the scene I'm talking about. That was enough. That's as far as we needed to go. Woo. No.
God, that's dark.
Happy early Halloween.
That's really
Give me the Ghiblies.
That's really dark. Ghibli. Oh yeah, did you see on Twitter Strongbad tweeted that he has a welcome mat that says "Come on in here."
I'm sorely tempted.
I'm jealous.
They also found an old cartoon follow-up to the fan voted best contest from, I think, their second Halloween.
Yeah, it was like 2001.
episode.
Yeah.
And they just now finished it.
Hey, you know what? Props to him for finishing it.
Oh yeah, and it's still great.
It is, yeah. Although you can really tell that what was recorded 20 years ago versus what was recorded now. Like, oh yeah, the difference in Strongbad recording quality and just the way he speaks in general is like, oh, it's really obvious with what you've already recorded.
Shh, I think I'm going to win.
The lights turned off. Style. Here's a question from True Digi Cooking Hunter 78. Those medallions of the Sonic Underground, do you think the shards of a third set of gems that equal to the Soul and Chaos Emeralds?
I wouldn't go that far, no. Then again, I am not the most up to date on my underground lore, so maybe the medallions had greater power to them than I remember, but I wouldn't equate them to the emeralds, no.
It's okay, Ian. That show's like over 25 years old, so I don't think anybody's up to date on their lore on it, because, you know.
Do not put it past the underground fans. They are few, but they are passionate.
Yes. I know, I'm just thinking like, well, I mean, there hasn't been anything in many decades. Here's one from Verdragon 5. You've stated before that Sega is rather touchy when it comes to flying insect characters a la Jewel and the butterfly in the Sonic fan club. But would they be more open to depicting terrestrial arthropods? I'd personally love to see a Sonicified take on a scorpion or a pillbug.
Maybe I worded it poorly in the past, but they're not wild on bugs, period.
Yeah. Spiders, arthropods, insects.
Yeah, flying ones,
nothing.
Crawling ones, creeping ones, rolling ones, stingy ones, bitey ones, 6, 8, however many legs, faux or real, just not bugs.
Nope. No centipedes, no 100 legs, no millipedes, no 1,000 legs, nothing. What a shame. Here's a question from Windstar Osprey. I recently learned that octopuses are able to squeeze into very tight/small spaces due to the only solid part of their bodies being their beak. Is Mimic able to do that as well? P.S. Headcanon. Mimic is able to walk and do things like he has a skeletal system because his quote-unquote bones are actually a complex system of fluid-filled bladders.
See, that's how I would want to go with it, but I don't know if Sega would let us do that. I don't know, actually, if they have a ruling on that one way or the other. That might be an Evan question, because she did the design, from what I remember. Maybe she got a note on that. But
Yeah.
for consistency's sake, I'm going to assume he has an endoskeleton like all the mammalian versions, but maybe he doesn't. I mean, it would certainly make the shapeshifting make more sense if he doesn't have to worry about contorting his interiors.
Mm-hmm. I mean, technically, I guess it's a fan idea, but I don't know. The line is blurred on this one, I'd say.
It's based off of actual animal biology.
Right. You're not going to get sued by biology, I don't think, maybe. I don't know.
Well, not again. Already settled. The one with mathematics is still ongoing, though.
Yeah. It never ends. Here's a question from Yoshi McMahon. Why do you hate the term meta era for the 2010s? I think it's appropriate given how the brand presented itself in that era and the nostalgia pandering in the games. The synergy with the writing by Pontic and Graf also probably didn't help.
I just don't like the idea of breaking things into further segments. You got classic era, you got modern era. Let's keep it simple. I mean, if that's how you want to contextualize it, then go ahead. Don't mind me. I'm just a curmudgeon.
I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. Nostalgia pandering in the games. This is Sonic the Hedgehog. It's been nostalgia pandering since 1992. Here's a question from the cartoonist. So, question. Do you guys listen to video game music while driving? And if so, what stuff? I can imagine Kyle playing the original Streets of Rage soundtrack as he's driving to go buy some milk. I don't know about Ian. Maybe Rystar?
Kyle. Does Kyle listen to video? Does Kyle listen to video?
No. No.
Is there any time where you aren't listening to video game music?
Actually, pretty often. It's usually because I'm not listening to anything.
Well, fine then. Be that way.
Let's see. Do I listen to video game music? What's video game music? No, I'm kidding. Streets of Rage soundtrack, that's a banger. Definitely, absolutely delightful, wonderful, amazing. But if you do want to hear what I actually drive around listening to, head on over to my website, kngi.org/listen, and that'll get you to the 24/7 KNGI radio stream that's constantly spinning lots and lots of video game music, especially in the form of remixes and arrangements, other cool stuff generally made by fans. And that's usually what I listen to, honestly. I put on my own freaking radio station. That's what I put on when I drive around. Because, yeah, but, I mean, why wouldn't I?
I mean, the amount of music you have cultivated is staggering. So, yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah, and I have a lot of it on there. Actually, I need to do an update because there's a lot of old stuff. But, yeah, I'm rocking like a good terabyte of game music right now. So
good glory.
Yeah, I mean, not all of it is up on the stream, but, you know, you can listen to it there, and that'll give you an idea. But, yeah, usually I'm listening to video game remixes, so, like, stuff from Overclocked Remix and, you know, all sorts of YouTuber folks who do game remixes, like God Metal. I listen to some OST stuff, too. Streets of Rage soundtrack is definitely a very, very good one. Also, Rystar, very good indeed. So, what do you listen to, Ian?
I mean, I listen to some game music, and I listen to just some other general stuff. Sometimes I don't really listen to anything in the car because thoughts are wandering anyway, or I have to keep track of what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, a lot of what I have is still on CD, and I just haven't converted it to digital yet.
Yeah, that's okay. You don't listen to the Sonic Chronicles soundtrack, though, do you? Or do you listen to that like all the time?
No.
Is that like your Is that your go-to? No? Oh.
No, not especially. As a matter of fact, the day we're recording this, I'm doing my daily walk. I have the Sonic Generations soundtrack going. So
there you go. Well, so long as you were able to run like Sonic to keep up with that, with the tempo of it.
Not so much Casino Night, but when Crisis City kicks in.
Yeah.
They get your blood pumping.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, we got one last question for today's episode coming to us from the Might of Gabura. Does all forms of arithmetic exist in Sonic the Hedgehog? If not, then how many do? And would something like n-dimensional space, or r to the nth power for short, exist as well? I mean, wouldn't the existence of the third and fourth dimension prove n-dimensional exists already? Math.
Now, I'm just a simple man who writes a hedgehog and talks about him on this here podcast. You're using that fancy, highfalutin mathematical speak there, and frankly, I just don't cotton to that jargon.
Here's a southern country bumpkin. Nope, can't handle it. I don't know, man.
No, seriously, you have eclipsed you used words and they sounded right, and I'm just kind of staring in horror.
Do all forms of arithmetic exist in Sonic the Hedgehog? Sure.
I didn't know there were multiple forms of arithmetic. Why is there more than one?
Well, I mean,
I had enough trouble with the one.
There's arithmetic, there's algebra, there's
is algebra a form of arithmetic?
Geometry, I don't know. There's nth dimensional space. I don't know what that is. I'm scared, Ian. Help me. Take me away. Get me out of here.
All right. We're going to cut off this episode by, there we go. We're going to thank all our patrons over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members.
Yay.
Big thank you to Daniel H., Alex B., James K., John B., Jennifer R., Robotnik Holmes, Samuel P., Sam Cybercat, Torchbound, Mike B., Dave M., Andrew D., Salute Your Cat, Coupling Crew 128, J. Frost, Duas Diz Din, Hero of Light 13, Professor Scruffy Matt, Ryan D., Chris A., Noni Sony, John M., Dib, Dawn B., Yami M., Lee HK, Fiona M., Lisa M., Invade Turbo, Turner, Chevelle, Ben, Wolfsbane, Sonic, Scurvy Pirate, Hog Keeper of Monsters, Axis, Tic Tic, Xander, Only the Painter, Jonathan Dobbs just really likes Princess Sally, Final Neil, Arc Fighter, The Name is X, Solaris Dane, Nemric, Godzilla, Justin S., Alex GS, Dadler the Dalek, Ava Arctic, Quaggle Gaggle, Sonic Legacy, Duff, Professor Rye, Just a Mountain Soul, Pedanti Cad, Cameron H., Nondel, Red the Supernamic, Chad, Les, Jennifer H., Starlight Sec, Alpha Monor, Yukin, Twilor, Joshua S., Omega Watt, Jolene B., Preston M., The Disgayan, Dapper Shinks, Noah S., Sonic 84, Kojiro Hyman, Supersonic Fan, Awesome Cakester of the Stars, Chaos Sonic 1, Radry, Chase L, Calum Q, and Tails, Red Wolf, Derusival, Maddie H, KJB, Wild 48, T Ranger, In Zephyr, Miles the Prower, Navarre, Exidel, Agent Kaz, The Marble Gardener, Mox, Owen BD, 4 Sonic Fan, Vlad, Rhythm Raccoon, Miggy Sawdust, Pig Dan 20, Ty Cyan, Puppy the Scholar, Curly Quills, Triforce Riku, Classic Sonic, Chaos Shadow, Oz Jam, Shimmy M, Michael P, Angela V, Delta God 77, Fang the Werehog, Nova Poly Duo, Smiley 21, The Flower Garden, Sammy S, Sterling Sonic, Caswell, Mr. Bird, The Giant Murdering Bird, Jube Conga, Shakira Law, Rocket Man, Windskull, Dolontai, Sky the Desu, Supernova Independence, Superior Pizza, Sonic Page, Lacey M, Unlikely Veronica, Thickoff, Phi, They Made a Vow Their Mother Will Be Found, Tetsu Knife, Omega Man 21, Crowbo, Sonic Mania 2099, Hadronis, Nils, Noob 600, El Technopata, FMS Draws, Logical, True Digi, Cooking Hunter 78, Verdragon 5, Yoshi Milkman, Zay Cartoonist, Buttered Noodles, Miles Prower D, Frost the Hobbidon, Danny the Light, Ryoko Shion, Metamode, Wheels 282, Hedgehog, and Jamal S.
I think they'd use base 7 apparently if they had, since they only have 4 fingers on each hand. But they have 5 though, don't they? Wait, this is Sonic. They have 5 fingers on Sonic. All right, make it end, Ian. Make it
We're
stop.
done. We're out of here. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And we will see you next time on the BumbleKast.
Yeah, they use base 10. The only system Eggman cares for is the metric system.
You mean the Meg trick system?
Boo. Terrible. Why am I laughing? That's not funny. That's not funny at all. That's why I'm smiling and trying to not laugh. All right. That's it. That's the BumbleKast. It's over. You ever see people taking their kids to Deadpool 1? The theaters didn't say anything to them about it being rated R?
Oh, probably not, because they don't get yelled at.
Yeah, true, but you're supposed to.
I'm sorry, this is an R-rated film. It's a superhero movie. You can't tell me how to raise my children. I pay your taxes. Blah, 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 blah.
In Australia, it was MA-15. Oh, no.
Really?
Oh, no. Wow. Australia is the country known for banning Grand Theft Auto, but you gave Deadpool an MA-15? Dove, I know, it's terrible. Well, parents, they just don't understand in a lot of ways. All right, we ready?
Yep.
Go back. All right.
That's a funny way to pronounce Shutterfly.
I have no idea. You guys are just saying words. I don't know what these words mean.
Pause while I make sure I actually said the character's name right.
Fluttershy, apparently.
Fluttershy. As soon as I said it, I went, that's not right. Shutterfly is a company.
Yes.
So this is where we're going to cut the recording and do a pickup in 3, 2, 1.
You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org.
I'm going to ask a question. So there.
Kyle, corrupted by his own power, can no leader go untainted?
I've seen some critique that Amy handing off her duties as Resistance Administrator and deferring to Jules' authority is a regression of her character, especially after showing a surprising amount of growth. What do you think?
I think that when she was leading the Resistance, I got nothing but complaints that it was completely out of character and that I had turned her into Sally. So, okay, we'll take away that role and give it to Jewel, and now Amy can be more like her normal game self. Oh, wait, no, that's a regression. What do you want from me?
It's okay, Ian. It's okay. Show me on the Sonic doll where Sonic hurt you.
Just throw it in the fire.
Finally. Release us from our pain. Release us. End it. End it.
There's your Iblis trigger.